Hey everybody, we're officially live. And right now I'm putting my little apron on right now. Just trying to get all set and ready to paint. And, I was just listening to some really upbeat, good music, and I'm pretty much raring to go as much as I can be. Last night I stayed up pretty late playing Monster Hunter with my brother, so I'm a little bit back on that night schedule for a bit. And my daughter, she stayed up late too, but then she got up early, so like, I was kind of thinking about like doing the streams a little bit earlier to be more on par with her, but she just changes her schedule all the time, no matter what. So, oh my gosh, hello, it's Rin. How you doing? Oh wow, you know what? It's Thursday. Um, just out of curiosity, right now I'm just gonna check the tracking on your package. Let's take a look at it. I just want to see what's up, like see if for any reason, like if it's still going. Let me just try and pull that up really quick. I've got the tracking over here. Let's see, because I want to know what's going on with that. I like to stay updated. I checked it a couple days ago, and it looked like it was in Tucson, which is weird to me, so I personally think that's weird, because that's a little bit south of me, and I don't think it should be traveling south, but, I don't know. I don't work for the post office, so I don't know how that works. Alright, let's take a look and make sure that it's, like, actually moving. Okay, in transit. Just curious, that's all. Tracking history. Oh. I see an arriving late thing on it. Of course. Oh, that's disappointing. Well, I'm gonna keep my eyes on that. That's really disappointing. I thought it was weird that they, like, sent it to Tucson. I was like, what the heck? It still stays... It still says I'll get it tomorrow on my end. Yeah, it says that, but then it also says arriving late next to it, doesn't it? That's not a good sign. I'm finishing getting my coffee ready for our conversation. Ooh, coffee for the conversation. You know what? I just downed a whole bunch of coffee, so, I just want to be like raring to go and just ready to dive into this painting. Pun definitely intended. So I'm gonna try to adjust the camera so that it looks straight. Okay. Sometimes the camera gets a little bit lopsided and it's hard to tell on my end. But if I look at the screen, like where I'm actually streaming, I can see it a little bit better. All right. So here's what I was thinking. I'm probably going to do some like warmer colors over here. And it says, yeah, I just looked at that part. Hopefully it won't be too much longer. Yeah, it's kind of weirding me out because I think I bought insurance on it because it's a whole gift card and like it just valuable items in there, so it's kind of, yeah, like I bought the insurance because I know USPS has been messing things up lately. I've been watching it happen, so I'm just kind of expecting it at this point because it happened to so many of my packages like in the past year or so. Like ever since COVID hit, USPS has not been good. And really no shipping service has been really that good. I've had a lot of problems with pretty much everybody. And some people say, oh, well, FedEx isn't suffering, but they are suffering, and a lot of my packages have been mixed up and arrived like weeks late, and other friends have had the same issues, and so it's just like, FedEx and UPS too, they're having issues. Everybody is. Every shipping service is having problems right now. Let's mix up some paints. I'm thinking I kind of want to do that like kind of a little bit of a desaturated, I want to say like a warm color. And to mix that up, I'm definitely going to have to make like a kind of orange a little bit. Let's try some of this primary yellow. Okay, primary yellow. I do want to use a little bit of cyan though because the water is going to be so blue and just like flittering blue light everywhere. It's not going to actually look bright orange there because that would look very out of place. So it has to be like desaturated and kind of like green. It's definitely more orange than the blue surrounding it, so your brain will automatically think that it's orange, but your brain is filtering it through its filter, your lens filter. You're not actually looking at orange, but you'll think that you're looking at orange. We have to look at the colors for what they are, so it's definitely not going to be exactly orange, but it will kind of look like a warm color. So I'm just going to try to mix up a color right now and hold it up to the canvas and see what we can get. Yep, because COVID hit them hard, really hard, because so many people are buying things online because it's dangerous to go out. Not only that, but their funding was cut. And it's just horrible. And it's one of those services that is like, you have to have the post office, you know, you have to have the postal service. And it's just horrible. My husband, it's so funny, he actually legitimately thought that they were just going to like shut down and like the USPS was just like not going to be a thing anymore. I was like, that doesn't make any sense. To me, that makes no sense. I mean, maybe I'm wrong, but to me that makes like no sense, pretty much. But anyways, yeah, he really thinks, or really thought, that they were pretty much gonna, I guess you could say, go out of business, but that doesn't make sense because it's government funded. It's just their funding was cut. It was definitely cut. It's just they can't. This is too bright. So I need to kind of tone it down a little bit. Also, let's kind of add, let's see what we can do with some vermilion. Let's see if I can add a little bit of vermilion to this. Alright. And I'm seeing it. Let me see what that looks like. That looks really bright. That looks like a skin tone almost. Okay. But I do need it to be a little bit darker. And this is kind of tricky. How do you make this darker? You can make things darker and kind of desaturate them, but also make them slightly green, like a green tinge, if you add black. So there's probably something, I can probably add black and it would probably be okay, honestly. Let's take a look. Okay, so that's kind of pretty close to the same thing, so maybe I can go a little bit bolder with that, like just be a little bit more bold. Okay, that, a little vermilion. Okay, so a little darker, huh? Not much darker. So I kind of want to have like this this seabed, you know, like I want to have kind of like the sand of the seabed and the ocean, and it's gonna kind of fade a little bit into the blue. And so like a little bit of cyan will probably hit the edges, and then like a deep blue will be like the mountains in the back, I guess. So yeah, so like everything kind of closer up here should really have this kind of like sandy color over here. Oh, it's gonna be so much fun. Gammy loves Robin! Hello! Nightfire theme didn't work. Let me do it manually. I've been trying to get it to work, and it hasn't been triggering, so I'm not really sure what's going on. It's the third-party service. They're talking about having problems with their servers lately. You know what? All these difficulties, man. USPS, now this. Like, I don't know. It's all the little things. I know it's pretty minor gripes, and those things really aren't important in life. Well, I mean, kind of. When it's a lot of things, they add up, right? But yeah, they really do add up. I mean, it's just so much is going wrong right now. Yeah, it's working. Yeah, I moved it over. I just went ahead and did that manually, which is good. I honestly, it just takes one click for me to do it. It's just as long as I know. It should be instantaneous when you redeem, but if it takes some time, then I'll just go over there and I'll just click it, yeah, just to make sure it works, because I couldn't seem to get it to work during the test. Oh my gosh, but that works. Yeah, that one works. How are you? Awesome. I love my boy Brewster. Oh goodness. You know what? Because, oh my gosh, this is so funny that this track is playing again, except this one is the beta version, I think. Okay, so anyway, since they've gotten their new cage, I've been making Brewster hang out on my arm. I've been making him do it to hang out on my arm, and it's so wonderful. Like, okay, so Pecco knows me. He's my lovebird. He is so into just people and being held and stuff. And it's just so cute because Brewster, he's not normally used to being held, and I let him have his space for years, you know, but we're coming up to a time where it's just, I want to be able to hold him, you know, like he's my bird, he's so sweet, I love him, you know, like I want to be able to hold him. So, making him hang out with me. And, anyways, I'll like chase him down and stuff, and like, it makes me feel bad because I feel like I'm traumatizing him, but Peck will hang out on my arm while I do that, and he'll try to coax him over, and like, it's so cute. He'll reward him with kisses. Peck will reward Brewster with kisses if he gets up on my arm. It is so sweet. He like looks at him with like this look of love, like you did it, and like he praises him. It's so sweet. He's just so like proud of Brewster for like doing it, even though he didn't really have a choice. And then like Brewster will be like on my arm, like with this horrified expression, and Peckle will be there like looking at him like he's so proud of him, and you know, like go up to him and give him kisses and cuddle up on him because he's all like, he's definitely proud of Brewster. It's just so sweet, those two. Those two are so sweet. They are such good boys. I'm so happy that I can hold Brewster now against his will, but still, it's not a very long time. I'm not like subjecting him to anything crazy, and then I give him treats when he's done it. So, cut up like a nice juicy strawberry or something for him so that he can you know, so that he can be rewarded for his good behavior. Just being a good boy. So we're gonna kind of like dry brush this into the canvas over here. Okay, awesome. Yeah, I think that this is gonna kind of work out. We want to get like a nice looking, like, kind of like, you know, just the seabed, the ground, the earth under the ocean. Oh my god, I learned my hedgehog loves watermelon. Oh my gosh, I've never heard of a hedgehog eating watermelon before. That sounds so adorable. That sounds so cute. Wow. She's such a cutie too. I love those pictures of her that you share in the Discord. So adorable. A little bit off topic, but today I made a new YouTube channel for my video archives, like my Twitch VODs. So all of the past streams that we have here, I have set up to automatically go to the new channel. It's called Altia Studio Live, and the I is a long I. So it's got like, instead of like the dot on top, it's like a dash. Because, you know, that way people can see Altia Studio Live instead of Altia Studio Live or whatever. I'm sure nobody will get confused, but you know, it's the little things. Anyways, it's really awesome because as soon as I put those videos up, all of the VODs, I got like 70 views within like the half of day that they've been up. So I'm just really glad for that because I feel like that's going to help me significantly. And it'll be a great place for me to like put my stuff. Yeah, so I think it's gonna be great. People have recommended that before, and you know, I was thinking about it, but I kept putting it off, and then I finally did it, and pretty much instantaneously. It's just you know, good stuff. So I should really follow stuff like that more often. When somebody says to do something, I should really just listen, you know? What's the harm in listening, right? Yeah, it is awesome. It's very, it's gonna be very helpful, I think. Helpful for my visibility, helpful for all that stuff. The YouTube algorithm must have liked it because pretty much immediately as well, those things became available or like searchable on Google. So if you search like Summa Studio, or I made it Summa Studio. I think that I accidentally called myself Altia Studio. I'm still mentally getting into the rebrand. I actually really like the new name, but it's been years and years and years that I've been using Altia Studio. It's been, how long has it been? 6 years? So I'm still adjusting. It's like, you know, having a new name, you know, it's hard to get used to that stuff, so. But I'll get used to it. It's all good. It'll be cool though. I mean, so far, just that little bit, just having the 70 views just tonight, you know, it's awesome. It's great. Just for half the day, you know? So I really think it's just going to be a helpful thing. It'll probably It might like calm down or wane, like, you know, wane. It'll probably like calm down. You know, it probably won't be that many views consistently all the time. I do think that since I did a pretty big video dump, like, I think that that was like really helping the algorithm, like, you know, pay attention. So, but honestly, I can't really do big video dumps after that one. Well, I actually think I can because I did save some old VODs. So, there's more to add, I think, for sure. But it's just gonna be another tool to help, I think, which is nice. It is. I'm subscribed to it. Oh my gosh, you're the best. Thank you. That is awesome. I appreciate you. It's got the purple logo instead of the regular yellow, orange, and red. I kind of did a color shift so that it would be like a separate channel, like differentiate the two different channels. And it's fun. I think it's gonna be really helpful. I do. So far, so good, you know. I was like, you know, I'm probably gonna get like 1, 2 views today, maybe. Like, you know, I wasn't really expecting anything, but then I just started seeing some numbers come through, and I was just like, oh my gosh, like, why didn't I do this before? You know, that's what you do. You put things off sometimes. That's what I do anyway. I put things off. Kind of often, especially if I tend to forget too. Like, I'll make these goals, I'll set these goals, and I'll like forget them. And I'll be like, I could have sworn I had something that I wanted to get done, and now I don't remember it. But I'm trying to get better about that by like, I've got a wall calendar now, and I'm trying to mark off the days, and I'm trying to take notes on sticky notes and things to help me remember these types of things. Yep, I think it looks good. Oh, awesome! Thank you. I give myself these sticky notes and things like lately. I am a very ADHD person. I tend not to remember like things that I should remember or that should matter. And it doesn't mean that I don't like care to get them done. It does not mean that at all. It just means my attention is all over the place. I try. I really do. And I'll get better again about it. I've kind of like been like until lately I've been kind of slacking on like my notes and stuff that I used to do to help manage my ADHD. That's the kind of stuff that I would do for my ADHD instead of like taking meds or anything like that, because honestly that never worked out for me too well. The meds, I used to be on meds as a kid. That was not good. You know, some people do pretty well on them, but I'm not about that stuff. Not anymore. Well, I never really was. It was kind of more of my parents' idea, and then I just kind of got roped into that, you know, but it's all good. It's all good. I can manage my ADHD. It just takes, it's hard. It takes self-discipline that's kind of not there to start. But you have to, like, ease yourself into it. Like, you can also be a super disciplined person and just, like, have that executive dysfunction thing going on. It's just, yeah. It just kind of, it has a mind of its own, or rather just kind of takes over yours, you know? It makes things a little bit more difficult to manage. Times becomes really difficult to manage. Always gotta keep the notes around, keep the notepads. Sticky notes are like my favorite thing. So when I was getting tons of orders coming in through Etsy, in order to keep everything like I would keep everything like really organized, and to do that, I had to basically like write names and addresses on the parcels themselves, and then I would take sticky notes and I would shorthand write all of the contents of each parcel on each part, like on each parcel. So anything like what types of keychains or like lanyards, how many, like everything like that, to keep tabs on that stuff. I would just write it out shorthand onto the sticky notes, stick it to the parcel, and then I would have the date as well that it's scheduled to leave or to depart. So that's how I kept things organized, and I had bulk packs, big bulk packs of sticky notes, and my shop's not open right now, so I'm utilizing them for myself because I need them in my day-to-day life. It's just helpful, you know? Good way to organize. Really do like to try to organize. I'm definitely not the most organized person in the world, though. If you saw like my bags and my stuff and everything like that, like it takes me a lot of effort to organize. Like it's not a thing. It's not innate. It does not come naturally to me. It's not innate. It's just, it's just something I have to do. I have to keep myself in check. It's not easy. Not always. Oh. Trying to get this color to be a little bit deeper, a little bit more blue, a little less saturated. This painting is just so much fun. It's gonna be like, it's actually coming along a lot faster. If you might have noticed, it's coming along a lot faster than my last one, even though there's more to cover. There's so much more to cover here. It's like my Twilight Dragon. But I think the reason that I'm going faster is my new setup. Because before, I had the camera set a different way and I had it pushed up really close, and like it just caused, I had to try to keep it like at a specific distance, but it was also like in my way. And like the way that I had the easel, and this easel is wonderful, by the way. This easel, it works great. It holds on to the canvases really well. I did have to get used to using an easel, and this one can actually like tilt the painting back. So what I started to do is I started tilting the painting back a little bit, and I did this just to try it. I thought, what's the harm? The spacing looks a little bit better when I do this. I don't necessarily like feel better with having like a tilted back canvas. Like that doesn't necessarily like help or hinder, I think. But when I did that though, I realized that it made it so that I could set the tripod higher to capture it at an angle. And in doing that, in this new setup, the spacing is just so much easier to work around. I can actually get up real close to the painting without actually being in the way, and that's what I wanted. I didn't want to have to be really far behind this camera and then like the knots It was just, you know, it was just a kind of bad setup before, and it was a little bit disorienting. Now it's awesome. And now I don't really have to focus on that kind of thing anymore. It's not even a problem. Okay, there we go. And there's that. Okay, and then tonight, I'm going to dip into color on this painting. I'm going to try to get some color on like the wings and stuff done. And this is the second layer currently that we are working on, but or rather, I guess you could say the third layer. Things are going to be kind of like moving in layers, so as we get further and further along, it'll be less about coverage and more about detail, so just really small detail. And, you know, painting, lighting, and stuff like the flecks of light that you see up there and everything like that. You know, I want to have, like, glittering light on objects. I want to fix this clam. Something about it does not look right to me. But I'm going to fix that, and, I'll just get back to that, though. I think pulling the rest of this together first, and then kind of coming back into that will help. But, yeah. Let us focus on coverage more for right now. And also, as I start getting into like detail a bit more, you might notice that it will seem like things are slowing down. Right now it's gonna seem like it's going really fast, which it kind of is, but it's going to start to feel like it's slowing down or coming to a lull when I do get into the detail part, because that's going to be the part that's time consuming, requires a lot of focus and getting in there, and just about little tiny minuscule brush strokes that seem insignificant, but they will all add up and they will all be worth it. Yep, that's gonna be saved for later, though. We're not all ready for that yet. Yeah, so this looks a little bit, I feel like that looks a little bit too desaturated, possibly. Maybe if I like do something like this, I feel like it's just something about this is just too desaturated. And then of course, as we kind of finish up those details and everything like that, just on like objects and stuff, then we can start working on kind of like stitching the foreground and the background, and like, you know, piecing things together a little bit more. Yeah, so I'm kind of thinking that might be the order that we do things this time. I think it's important that we make some kind of progress here. So instead of hyperfixating on small areas, coverage comes first. Just coverage. I'm not gonna worry about hyperfixating on tiny little things like I did last time, because it was truly a mistake. I could have saved so much time. There were so many sessions when there didn't need to be, and I was trying to improve on my speed before that, and then it just got worse. So we will have less sessions this time, I think. Alright. So this part's a little bit intimidating for me because, well, I've never done this before, but I think that I know what I want to do. Alright, so I'm actually going to take a small peek at a color wheel, and this sounds kind of nuts, but I think it's going to help. I think it's going to help me visualize because I am going to implement some analogous colors and some complementary colors. So 2 complementary colors, 2 analogous colors. So this is how I'm gonna do it. I want to make this sea dragon look calm and cool like the surrounding area. In order to do that, I'm thinking I want to do... Here, let's check this out. Color wheel. Alright, I just want the basic color wheel here. Yeah. Here we go. This will work. So, I want to do analogous colors. For this, I want his body to be a cool blue, but I want it to shimmer green in the light. I want him to look like it has kind of a chameleon effect. Like color shift pigments, or like things that are like kind of... Alright, let's see here. So I do want him to be blue. Obviously we have orange here. That's the complementary color, so he'll be blue. Orange will be implemented in the designs over here. But now I'm kind of thinking, do I want this red-orange? Or... I'm actually starting to think... No. That's not a good idea. I think I want to stick with the green. I really have to think about this. This is kind of, alright, so blue, green, red, orange. So I'm kind of thinking like blue-green, like blue, and then it like shines green, like there's a layer over top that shines green. And then over here, what do I want to do with this? I guess I'm just gonna start winging it and we'll see what happens, right? Let's see what we can do with this. I think I'm gonna start mixing up my paints now. And we're just gonna try to dive into it, so to speak. Let's see what we can do. God only knows if I can do this. Alright, so let's see. I want this to be like a blue, azo yellow light. Try that. Okay. And then let's get ourselves some of this cobalt blue. I really love the cobalt blue. So let's see. I almost want to use... This sounds crazy, but I almost want to use my neon paint. We can try that for the highlights there. Okay. Yeah. All right. So let's mix these. See what we can come up with. So let me think. I kind of wanna make like a nice. Oh, I might even want to use some of this. I have to be careful though to make it not look like it stands. I want it to look like it actually stands out from the background. So I have to be pretty careful with that piece. This is a really deep blue. Okay, so this is gonna take a little bit of concentration. I'm sorry, I'll probably be a little bit quiet, you guys. Don't mind me. Okay. Oh boy. Okay, so let's grab some more of that. And this, of course. I really love color though. This is gonna be so much fun. Too much water in that. Almost want to add some black to that to make it a little bit deeper. That doesn't want to stay. Hold on. More black on the canvas. There we go. Got a little bit on my palette and my fire. Alrighty, so let's grab some more of this color. Alright. And that's some of it. Still got this one. Okay. Man, I'm excited to be working on the color on the actual dragon itself. There's awesome. So it's gonna look kind of really weird so far. We're just trying to get this this deep blue color all filled in. Okay, let's make this kind of deep. Maybe big old spike on the head. Okay. Paint's kind of getting dry. I might need to start mixing up another batch. Guess I've got a little bit left here. Not much. Maybe. More to do, more to do. Alright, time to mix up some more. Go. Oh boy. This is fun. I don't know how it's gonna turn out, but so far I'm feeling pretty confident. Okay. I'm gonna add some of that up here. Okay. Righty. Now I'm looking at it, and then I can see that things need that deep blue as well. we're really just trying to cover all of the areas with a marked by like a really dark gray. So all of the super dark grays we want to hit with this particular color. As we move into the lighter colors, we're going to do a bit of a hue shift. We're going to shift over closer to green on the spectrum. So we're going to do a gradual shift. So think of a gradient from dark blue to light green. And that's kind of what we're going for. That's the angle. So far, so good. I'm happy with the way that things are moving along on this thing. Got to play Monster Hunter with my brother last night. I got to HR 6, which ain't nothing crazy, but it's good. It's good progress. Any free time that I have, I've been playing. Pretty much. Alright. So, right now, it's looking pretty okay, except we do kind of need to do something with this. Nice. This one too. I feel like something's a little bit off about this. perhaps this could kind of take care of it if I just close the gap a little bit. Not let too much light through on that. A little bit more light through on this one because it's spread out a little bit further. Like the webbing is just kind of spread out. Yep. Does a little bit better for me. All right. I like the cobalt. Thank you. I appreciate you very, very much. We're gonna start color shifting now. Well, actually first, really quick, we're gonna start. We're gonna put this underneath the horns. I'm gonna try to get some of this cobalt. Into here. Probably do a little bit of alright, a little bit of a color shift. Okay. Time to start working on our shifted color. Actually, one more thing. We want to get that coral in there as well on that side. Should be visible on both sides. Okay. Cool. Alright, let's start doing our hue shift. So I'm gonna take the cobalt blue. My paints are drying up so fast over here. Wow. Okay, so we're gonna do kind of the same thing as before. I'm gonna mix up the same batch, basically. Except we're going to start adding in yellow. And cyan. We're going to start adding a little more cyan and yellow and a tiny bit of white because we want it to not only hue shift, but we want to make it a lighter color so it becomes kind of teal. This look. I almost feel like this should actually have a lot of cyan in it. Like a pretty decent amount of cyan. Kind of like that. Except I'll want to kind of do like a middle color to blend in. Like a kind of an in-between. Alright, let's see. How does this look? lighter color. To work quickly because acrylic dries fast. We're going to take some of this, we're going to start adding in some yellow and some white. Possibly a little more cyan. You can kind of see where a color shift is happening. It's a pretty subtle thing. Just shifts over a little bit. It's not as dramatic right now, but we'll really be able to see it when I start adding like highlights in. Those will make it particularly noticeable. Okay, there we go. I'll move this along quite a bit quicker. Because this paint is drying up. It's all really trying to dry up on me. Gotta love that. A little more of that, a little more yellow, a little more sand. There we go. Just gotta remix the paints as it starts to dry out, which does not take long at all, pretty much. It's pretty quick. Yeah. Hi. Sorry I'm so quiet, guys. pretty chill tonight. Chill and focused. Super focused. One thing you might also notice is that right now I'm using a pretty fat brush for detailing. It's to prevent me from getting stuck into detailing. So right now, as I'm trying to make things a little bit more detailed, I'm not actually working on detail right now. I'm trying to map it out for when I do actually work on detail. But using a fatter brush kind of like prevents me from going in there and like getting into the detailing too soon, because we're not ready for any of that yet. It just helps me to kind of stay on track a little bit. Oh, it's a follow! Dog Attack. Is that, Dog Attack 60? Thank you so much. You rock. I appreciate you very, very much. It's nice that you're stopping by and dropping a follow. It means a lot to me. It truly does. We're just kind of doing some little chill vibes here and just hanging out and painting. Nothing too wacky. I thought I'd be a little higher energy, but you know what? I guess that's okay. That's probably preferred. That's probably preferred for some people. Yeah, nothing wrong with that. Okay, let's hope that's not that's a bit too green. That's okay, I can actually mellow that out a little bit. It's just all my paints are drying, so I'm just trying to grab at whatever I can. It's ridiculous how fast everything's drying, even though I have the wet towel underneath my palette. It's summertime, man. It's gonna get worse. It's just gonna get worse. What are you gonna do? Aquatic ambience is just perfect for this. What can I say? Donkey Kong Country music is so good too. Right. That looks a little messed up, but I'll come back to that. I'm not worried about it. Not worried. Oh, but I am worried about that. Hold up. Hold on. I don't want that darker. Do some little tight circles and just push the color into the canvas. Use some of that cobalt. Just kind of get those edges there. Okay. So that's a pretty dark version of what I want to accomplish, but right now I think it's good that I keep the colors a little bit dark so that when I work on the highlights, they can pop. So we're gonna keep everything kind of dark looking. And then we're gonna see if we can make that color shift effect with the highlights pop that much more. It's just gonna be like kind of eye-catching is the idea. That's what I'm hoping for anyways. Okay. I might have asked before, but would a humidifier help? I've had a humidifier. I did have one, but it got moldy really, really fast. How do you keep humidifiers from getting super moldy? Like, it got to the point that I think that my bird had a respiratory infection because we had one in the room for a little while. Because Shane wanted it. So I bought one, and then I put it in the room. And then, Pecco started having a respiratory infection, and then it turned out that it got really moldy and nasty. I mean, I like humidifiers, and I like the concept of them. But if they get moldy quick, I just, like, we take it apart, like, I would take it apart and I would clean it, but there was a part, like, way up in the mechanism, like in the filter area, that I didn't see for the longest time, and it started smelling like mold and like pumping out like black looking clouds of air. It was disgusting. It sounds repulsive, and it was repulsive, and I threw that thing out as soon as I saw what was going on, what I was looking at, because it was absolutely horrifying. It was like so gross. Trust me, you don't want to discover that. You don't want to discover that that your humidifier is pumping out mold spores. That's like so gross. It's the Stacky. It's the Stachybotrys. Stachybotrys. There we go. It says house distilled water and sanitize it every day. Oh, use and wash it. So we did wash it daily, or I washed it daily. But there was a part in the filter that I didn't take apart that I didn't realize, like, actually came apart. Or actually, I don't think it did come apart. I think I just found the mold in there by, like, looking in there and shining a light in there. I can't remember. It was, like, poor design. It was, like a Vicks brand. And it was like, and we only use distilled water. I got distilled water specifically for it. And also for my neti pot. And then also to get it to work, you had to salt the water. Like you had to put salt in the water in order for it to operate correctly. But I just, ever since that happened, I just don't trust them. I don't trust humidifiers. Like a moldy humidifier, that's just disgusting, you know? I have to mix up more paint because this is all dry. I might even have to just like, yeah, I have to put more paint on the palette because all of my big globs of paint are dry. It's ridiculous. My eyes are even dry today, dude. Well, over the past week or so, they've been kind of dry. Let's see. Cobalt blue is dry, so I need to get more of that. Looks like that's okay. Just the cobalt blue, the white. It looks like all my white is dry. Cool. So then let's pour some white onto the palette. Cool. And then, what else? I think it's fine for now. Time to mix up some more of this. Need more of the cyan, more of the yellow. I think this is the correct color. Let me just give a look. It's not as green. Maybe I can just add a tiny bit of yellow to that, and then it should be good. Good to go. Pretty much. That's pretty much color matched right there. There we go. Some saturated, good paint. That's what I'm talking about. Oh, that goes on so much nicer. Yar, we cover that up pretty good. Yeah. So I don't know with the humidifier. I wasn't really having any luck with that. I can get another one and try it a second time. I want to look into ones that are easier to wash though, because that one, like, definitely had some design flaws. There was like this part in the filter that like didn't actually like come apart, and it just had like you could swap the filter, but there was this compartment in it that didn't like come apart, and I'm pretty sure that's where we had the mold problem. Yeah, so I'm just hoping that doesn't happen again. It seems like it can happen, so yeah, it's been kind of off-putting for me, at least. Although it would be really helpful if I could just get one that would just work. Not any kind of weird issues like that. Let's color shift into a lighter lighter hue. Color shift into like this green color. All right. They have tablets to put in them too, apparently. Yeah, so like, I didn't buy the tablets. I just bought like the original, like the Vicks Vapor Rub is what it was. Like they had like this Vicks like tablet that went in it, like when you bought it, just like came with. Just like as a refill pack, like you can try it sort of thing. And that was cool. I used that. There were like, it came with like 2 of them, I think. But I didn't ever buy any refills, so maybe that's my problem. Maybe they have like stuff that's in them that preserves it a little bit better, makes it like, you know, work a little bit better. There's possibility that that would help. There's definitely a possibility there that would help. All right. It would be so much easier to paint too. If I could like get it more humid in here, it will legitimately help the painting process that much more. That add a little bit of cool. There we are. Yeah, I'm sure Amazon would probably have a pretty decent selection. I'll have to look myself. Well, alright, let us see. Let's see. Here. So that went out a little bit too far. That's okay though, it's an easy fix. Negative space. Go. And we'll probably kind of go in there with a little more negative space. Just kind of cover that in. Okay. And a lot of canvas showing through here. I'm gonna need to fix that. Alright, awesome. There we go. Super. So we're making progress here. Looks very blue. We're just focusing on the dark colors right now, but what's gonna make it pop, what's gonna separate it from everything is when we add those highlights. That's when everything's going to kind of pop and just change a little bit. Then, when the paint's drying up, oh boy, start worrying about this stuff here. My paint needs to not be so thin, so let's mix up even more paint. Gotta get some more paint already. Alright, so these, I think these palettes are pretty much done for. I just need to get more palette paper. In my stationery stack. Let's get some cyan there. More cobalt blue. We're going to use more ultramarine. Azo yellow light. And last, neon green. Yep. And I still have a little bit of white over here, I think. Yeah, it's still saturated. Just the white, pretty much. Just the white and some of my yellow. It's still workable, still usable. Alright, so now I'm just gonna mix up another batch of this stuff. We need a lot of cyan in there. It's really important. A lot of that stuff. Touch of yellow. Just a touch. Let's hold it up to the canvas. That looks a bit lighter, which I'm not opposed to, really. I feel like I could use that. But I think that I do need to darken it up a bit. Find kind of a happy medium in here. Oh, but that needs more cyan and a little bit of yellow. So we're just gonna try to... Yeah, there we go. Then as I ease into this cobalt, I'm going to have to blend it by mixing some cobalt into there. Yeah, there we go. because it's more saturated, I can get cleaner lines. Which is good. I need cleaner lines. Oh my gosh, you ordered me one? It says no filter in there. These are good. Oh my gosh, you are so sweet. Thank you so much. Oh my gosh, you're ridiculously awesome. I can't get over you. Thank you so much. I really, really hope that works out. I think it will. I think you're right. I just have to take really good care of it. I'm just so scared of that mold. It's so gross. I'm so horrified by mold. There we go. Add a bit of this and a bit of that. And some white. Let's see. Nice. That is so sweet of you. I am so excited. I'm excited to try it out. I'm excited to try out humidifier for this room and for the paints. So I really think that's extremely logical that it would help. Alright. See, that is supposed to kind of be filled in a little bit there. I do need to fix that. I'm just gonna put white there to map it out. So I can kind of redo the ground right there. Okay. Nice. So far, so good. It's progress. Yeah. So over this spot, I am going to paint over to make kind of like the designs and everything. But for right now, I'm going to paint over the designs. We just kind of have an idea of what we need there. These colors over the top of that, and then once that dries, we can start adding the crazy designs. know, don't let Shane steal it like he did the hammock. That's so funny, right? Oh, yeah. He would too. He would borrow it and then I would never see it again. It's so funny. He did the same thing with my tablet stand. And I'd taken it back and everything like that. Then he ended up ordering his own, which is helpful, like, because he was using it for his phone. But it's just so funny. Oh, that's hilarious. Yeah, he just kind of took over that hammock. It's so funny. He went out to the store with Josh, and, like, they came back with, like, it was hilarious. They came back with a vacuum, because, like, okay, so the house vacuum broke, but they didn't know what they were looking for, so they just picked up a vacuum. And it's, like, not a house vacuum at all. It's just one that, like, sits on wheels with a really, it's, like, kind of like a big tin can. And it's got, like, a really small, like, vacuum head that you have to, and it just kind of came apart as soon as we, like, really started using it. And it's like, you can vacuum up the whole house with this. It's heavy duty. And it was this little vacuum head. I'm like, no, I can't. So I just ordered my own vacuum, and then he brought back the hammock frame. He brought back the hammock frame, and he thought it was a whole set. And I was like, how much did you pay for that? And he told me it was like $50 or something. Like, that's what it costs to get a frame. And then I was looking at the box, and I was like, it doesn't come with the hammock, does it? And he's like, it comes with the hammock. And then he opened it up, and it was just the frame. And I was like, yeah. Oh gosh, it was so funny. So I bought a vacuum, like an actual house vacuum, so that I could use that. So we also have that shop vac, in addition, which it's still usable. It's good for the kitchen. It's definitely not a hunk of junk that I can't use. It's definitely useful. It just takes a little bit of creativity. That's all. It's still something that I can use, though. That is for certain. It was just so funny. I was just like, I didn't mean to be like ungrateful or sassy or anything like that. It was just, you know, if I'm gonna be the one vacuuming up the house all the time, I have to have like a real vacuum, you know? And the frame thing was just, you know, like it was just an observation thing, you know? He was getting that for, like, himself anyway, you know, like his own bed, but I wasn't trying to, like, crush what he was doing, you know? It was kind of like when I was shopping also, like, when I was shopping for like, the camera that I'm using right now, and I was trying to find a good, he's a goob, yeah. He's so funny. I think he just got really excited about it, and he didn't really look into it too much, because I mean, he was in the company of Josh, so he's probably kind of in a hurry to come back and, like, get grilling and stuff like that, because that's what they really wanted to do. Yeah, so, I mean, I think he was just probably a little bit distracted, but he helped me with the camera that I have, because I was looking at a whole bunch of cameras. Wow, this is all dry all over again. I gotta mix up a brand new batch. Anyways, I was looking at cameras. A whole bunch of different cameras. And, like, I was trying to find I was trying to find a camera that I could connect to the computer wirelessly and live stream with. Well, it turns out that that should seem like a pretty simple request. Like a webcam, you know, webcam's a pretty normal thing. You can get a lot of those, but I wanted something that could wirelessly connect to the computer through like a port. Like I couldn't seem to really. I found something that was like called a live stream camera, but like, and I tried to buy it. It was like a few $100s or something. Maybe not even. I don't know. And like it was. I thought it was good. But the specs he noticed said like that it could only like save to the SD card, so it's like it's not actually a live stream camera. They just said that like in the title for like more views. It has nothing to do with like it has no wireless connection, it has nothing. And so he saved me from that purchase. I actually ended up canceling that and getting a refund on it, which is really good because I was just like, I was really excited about it. And yeah, he was looking at it and he was like, yeah, just look into the purchases before you purchase, especially if it's a big purchase. And he's usually very, very good about that. I think when he's in a store, he probably like maybe jumps the gun a little bit because he's there. You know, the impulse is easier, probably. That's just what I would guess. Okay. So Robin has moved on from learning the dwarf planets to learning the dwarf planet candidates, which are like, there's so many of them. I don't understand. It's just craziness. Yeah, he's usually good about that stuff. He hates the store, so he's always in a rush to get out. That makes sense. Yeah. He was really excited bringing that stuff home. I was just like, I felt bad. Like I was, you know, stomping on what he was doing. You know, I'm not trying to be an ungrateful jerk. Just, you know, bringing some stuff to his attention. That's pretty much it. Yep. Okay. So cyan on this side. Cyan on this side. I'm definitely said that. Okay. Let's get the cyan on this side. That's too much white, oh no. Oh no. Oh no, Mario. Okay. size of a canvas. Alright, so I feel like that looks pretty okay. Break this in like this. It'll be even better. There. Like that. Okay, very nice. Cool. Is this computer broken? Still broken? Yeah, so he decided that we're going to work on that on the weekend. Because I think it really is going to probably take some, like, focus to work on it. Because, like, I have to follow steps. I feel like I'm pretty much going to be doing it solo anyways. Like, he'll be there, but I think he's afraid to touch the inside of his computer. It's really too bad. We think that it's the power source. Everything that happened really points to the actual, like, the power supply being broken, because, like, it's like one of the first things that we thought it could be was, like, we thought that it could be like an electrical, like his hard drive was fried because something, like, kind of hiccuped in the system, or, like, hiccuped in the, like, the power or the wall or something. But that wasn't the case. We don't think. And the reason we don't think it's the case is because like, we would probably see other things that were plugged into that same power strip. We would see some other stuff get tripped as well. I plugged his computer into an outlet that has the GFI, like, surge protection, the button thing where you can reset. And of course I tried to reset. I wanted to see what I could do with that because I have been able to revive some electronics that were tripped in that way. But I don't think it was that. I don't think that was the problem because that didn't do anything for it. That was not helpful. It didn't make any kind of difference, didn't make any kind of sounds. Nothing, dude. So I feel like he and I will probably be ready to tackle it on the weekend. I'm sure he was fine with it. Oh, Robin is amazing. Yes, she is. She's so smart. Yeah. He doesn't seem to be, like, real bent up about the issue. He's not letting it get to him anyways. Which is pretty cool. Yeah, it's craziness, man. Especially after all he spent on that computer, you would think. I really think that the manufacturers just cut corners based on like everything that I heard. There were like a couple Reddit posts on the matter. There was one YouTube video and one Reddit post. So for people who bought the same model and went through the same company, who had the same problem. In 1 month, the power supply went dead. Now, for these people, it wasn't an abrupt, just like all of a sudden it's gone sort of thing. It was like it was extremely loud. Like the fan was running louder than normal, and then like one day it just kind of shut off. Because I guess the power supply is like some kind of weird off-brand that they're using to just kind of like cut corners. Like they're trying to save money. Like there's no brand on the power supply when pretty much everything else has kind of like brand on it. Like and that's not something I would have picked up on, but there were people that were picking it apart online who were having the same issues, so I think it's good that that I'm able to look at that, because it's very helpful for me. Because gosh, I don't know what I'm getting into, you know, like I don't know about this stuff, really. I'll work with computer software, but hardware is not my department. I don't know enough about it to actually feel confident about it. Yeah, so that's fun. All of this paint's drying up and it's making it so hard. It's making it so challenging to work with. Oh my gosh. What about this? What if I just like mix this up? It's drying on the canvas so fast too. Like so many extra steps. Yeah. Yeah, so Robin's working on the dwarf planet candidates. Like, oh my gosh, that girl, she never stops. She's always working on something, you know, she's always learning something, doing stuff. She has such a love for space, like, it's ridiculous. I got her, like, some little painting apps and stuff for on my tablet for when she just wants to kind of chill and like color mess free. And she has this one app that's like planet coloring, and she loves it. She colors all the planets the exact right colors. She knows them all, and she shows them all to me, and like she got the Earth right, and like Mercury and Venus, and Mars, she knows is the red planet. Jupiter, she colors it brown, and she colors that little red spot. She's so smart. She's my little astronomer. That needs to be more green. And cyan. Yeah, there we go. bit of weight to that. Yeah. Just kind of dry brush that in. And then just hope for the best, I guess. Right? Okay. We need to mix up even more paint. This is ridiculous, dude. Everything's like just drying so fast. It's just so hard to keep up. I have to do the same color. It's kind of crazy how much this is really drying up on me. Look at that, that's gonna be kind of light, I think. That's okay, I think that's kind of what I want. At least in some spots, like right here. Yeah, Robin is learning the dwarf planet candidates. She knows Sedna. She knows, gosh, even I don't know that. Quawar, Gong Gong. Like, these are really weird names, but these are like actual names of like dwarf planet candidates, which are just like, basically they're just dwarf planets that aren't actually called dwarf planets because there's so many of them, and it's basically just like, do we want to call this thing a planet? And then like they agree upon it or something, I don't really know, because like there's so many of them and they're trying to keep it, I think, kind of simple. I'm not really sure what the whole thing is, or if they're just like, they don't know the exact mass of the objects, but they know that the objects are there. I'm not really sure what exactly the whole process is for them to be like considered dwarf planets. But she's like, she knows them, you know, like it's just crazy. Like she was just watching videos and I didn't teach her this. She's just found the interest on her own. I taught her the planets. I taught her just the planets. And then she wanted to learn the dwarf planets, and that kind of started happening. And I was like, you know, learning it with her because I knew she was interested, and I was interested too. Now she's learning the dwarf planet candidates, and I better keep up because that girl, she knows the dwarf planets, and I'm just like, you know, I can't keep up, man. It's crazy. Oh, she's awesome. Alright, let's take this. so far. So right now, this dragon, of course it looks a lot like the background. It looks pretty similar to the ocean itself. But don't worry, it won't quite stay like that. I mean, it will kind of. There certainly won't be any kind of massive change or anything like that. But this is just kind of that base color that we're working with. We're doing kind of like mid-tone highlights. They're not really highlights, they're just kind of like lighter than like your middle tone. We're just kind of easing into it. We just need to cover everything with a pretty like middle range. Like the values should be, they shouldn't be too high or too low. The highlights and the shadows aren't really fully applied yet. Some of the shadows are applied right now, the hue shift shadows, but like the contrast is going to be upped and everything is going to be a lot more noticeable once we get there. So funny, she was talking about Guawar, and I was like, Guawar? What are you talking about? What's, like, at first I thought she was saying koala. And I had forgotten that Guawar is one of those North Planet candidates. And then I was just like, oh my gosh, you're talking about a planet. You're talking about a dwarf planet candidate. And then I looked it up. Sure enough, I found it, and then I showed her. I was like, is this what you're talking about? And she's like, Polar! And she's all excited about it. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't believe you know this. Oh. I see it every day, but I'm still in disbelief. See what she does every single day. One step Still in disbelief. Isn't that so funny? I thought she was saying koala. And she's like telling me no. Like, she doesn't care about no dang koala. She doesn't care about that. She cares about the planets. She's so amazed and captivated by, like, space. It's like her favorite subject. Truly. That and Pokemon. Definitely. Oops. I just kind of bumped the camera there. Wow. All of my paint is trying to dry up again. It's kind of wild. Right? Yeah, she's so smart. I just like her passions are just so interesting. Like, okay, yeah, the kids, like, some people's kids like the planets. Some people's 6-year-olds know all of the planets in the solar system because they really like the planets. Okay, but like my 3-year-old knows like all the primary planets, all the dwarf planets. Now she's learning the dwarf planet candidates. She's nuts, dude. She can't just name the planets, she can like color them and everything, like it's just crazy. Like what? We spend a lot of time just like watching like videos and stuff, and we spend a lot of time on YouTube, but we really spend a lot of time on educational YouTube videos, stuff that feeds the brain and teaches us stuff, which I think is really important. Some people really knock YouTube. They think that it's you know, it's bad. If your kids watch YouTube, they're rotting their brain. That's not necessarily true. We like to just put on educational stuff all day long. It's always like, it's not always pushing her, like, her limits. It's always like something that's educational, but it's not always something that's like pushing her to her limits. So, she might not be like exactly like actively engaging and learning something, but it's always something educational. Even if it's something that she's already learned, sometimes the reinforcement is nice. So like she'll like to watch stuff like, you know, like really simple stuff like colors and shapes. Okay, she knows her colors and shapes and everything like that, but she just, I feel like she likes the reinforcement of things that she does already know, as well as the stuff that pushes her to learn and actively engage. So like, I'll try to make it a point to learn all that same stuff with her if I don't know. I learned so much watching the planet videos with her, right? Yeah, there's a lot to be learned, really. I mean, there's a lot that we just don't learn we don't learn that stuff in our day-to-day lives, you know? Like, you have to really have a special interest in it. And boy, does she have that. She does have that. she's got quite the interest in the stuff that I feel like a lot of kids probably have an interest but just like don't like they probably like what they're doing what those kids are probably doing on YouTube, the ones that are giving all of the YouTube things a bad name, is they're not putting on educational stuff. They're watching, I don't know the names of channels, but probably just some popular stuff with like kids messing around and stuff. And we have come across that kind of stuff, but since I'm in control of the account, I'll just go in on my phone or something, and then I'll just kind of make it so that it doesn't appear in the suggestions anymore, so we don't watch it anymore. And it's as simple as that. You just monitor. You're around it all day, so you just don't expose the kid to the stuff that you find questionable. So like I don't think it's such a bad thing to have videos in the whole, just try to keep it educational, that's all. Try to keep it educational in some form or fashion. Even if it's like something that they've already learned. Like maybe they need a break. Like she needs a break for her brain. Once in a while she'll just put on something that's like, stuff that she's already learned. Or even just kind of simple stuff like she likes Color Crew, and she likes, like, that stuff is real simple and it's very harmless. But yeah, she's always trying to push herself to learn stuff, so I think I'm probably also just blessed with a kid that does that. That could be it. It could be so. Yeah, I think it's nice to have mastery over some things. Yeah, for sure. Most parents just give them a device and let them do what they want to do as long as they're quiet. Yeah, it's too bad. I mean, it's like, I understand that, but you really have to monitor this stuff, and you really have to be, like, because whatever the kid sees, like, that'll probably really stick with them for better or worse. So you really need to pay attention. They're so young and their brains are absorbing everything. I remember so vividly being so little, and it's because my brain was just absorbing everything that I was seeing, and so it felt like time was moving slower, and I was like mesmerized with textures, like experimenting with, like, I don't know, toys and things like that. And it's like you get so lost in what you're doing, what you're watching, and what you're absorbing. And like those kind of things, they just stick with you forever. I find myself like subconsciously recounting very old memories from when I was very little, like textures and things like that. It's kind of more of a subconscious thing until you really tune into it, but it's just like, you gotta be careful because your kid's digesting information all the time. So you gotta be careful and see what they are, like, what they are actually watching, what they're doing. Is it teaching good things? Is it teaching good morals? Is it teaching good habits? Is it teaching something of value? And it's just really important, I think. It's very, very sad, but very true. It is. It's terrible. It really is. But I also think that, like, I think that there is a happy medium. I've seen also some parents, like, absolutely scared of, like, YouTube. Like, I'm just like, it's not YouTube that's the problem. The problem is, like, just not parenting. You're just giving your kid whatever. You're not even doing even the slightest, like, you're not even putting the slightest bit of effort into, and it doesn't take much. It does not take much. Like, you just kind of have to be around and just kind of watch a little bit with them, be engaged a little bit with them, and then, like, if something questionable comes on, or if something that's just like, and YouTube's like good, they haven't put on anything that's like really bad, because everything is like kid mode on that account, which is good. But if we put on something that's like, I don't know what this is, or this is just some random creator, it's not a big name with a big good reputation, or just like a reputation for like learning content, because I'll dig into those things if I need to. If we're not familiar with them, it really takes very little effort. Just as long as you're around, you're doing that, you're watching diligently. If it's unfamiliar, if it is familiar, it's like you already know it then. Like, you know, and most of the time your kids are going to want to watch the same things over and over and over and over. My kid does, but she's learning something from it at least, you know? So it's cool. I mean, we just hang around and you can be engaged with it too. Maybe you'll learn something from it, you know? You can quiz them on it. I think that's one of the most engaging and fun things to do with her, is like, we'll like learn stuff on there, but like we'll quiz each other. She quizzes me back. And so it's like, I have to learn it now, you know? Like, it makes it more fun and engaging. I like it. I like having that aspect, because it's like, it kind of guides me to teach, and it helps me have things to learn myself, to quiz her and material for us. It's almost like feeding us material for stuff to learn, and it's always just good educational stuff. She just has that fascination with the planets and the solar system. She has this absolute fascination with just like the science of space, and it's just kind of like, it's just like so mesmerizing to her. I think she just wants to learn all about it and everything about it. And it's just like seeing her passion about it. It's just like so cool. I get to learn about it too. You know, I did know probably more than your average person, but honestly not as much as like I'm learning now. I'm definitely learning more of it now that we are engaged in like doing that pretty much day in and day out, you know? Usually it's just all the same stuff. She likes to learn it and then be quizzed on it, and then we basically just like keep going over the same stuff until I think she's got it down pat. Then she moves on to something else. Like now she's doing the dwarf planet candidates. Now that she has the planets, and she has the dwarf planets down, now she's going into the dwarf planet candidates. It's just nuts to me. It's just totally crazy. An ex-daycare worker, as an ex-daycare worker, I've seen it so much. As long as the kid is quiet, most parents don't care. For sure, my 3-year-old niece uses YouTube to learn things, but she also loves toy videos and music. Yeah, the toy videos are really captivating. Have you, since my daughter, she's obsessed with Pokemon, which is wonderful. She has taken a liking to like toy videos and stuff too. That's for like, you know, relaxation time. I'll watch it with her. We'll like cuddle and we'll just watch that, you know. It's not so engaging, and so it's just kind of like one of those things that you just kind of nod off to. You don't really need to be engaged or activate, like, you know, brain active in that particular scenario. But that's like, there's a time and a place for that specifically. Um, yeah, like unwind time. We come home from the park, you know, it's really hot out. This is what we've been doing lately. It's really hot out. And then we just like hang out on the couch for a bit, cool off after we've come home from the park, and she'll put on toy videos. We'll watch those. I'll let her nod off, and then I'll just kind of like shut it down while she's sleeping. Or I'll fall asleep with her if I can. I don't usually do that, just because I feel like I have to be awake, like I have too much to do, like clean up and stuff, but yeah, it's a good unwinding type of content, in my experience. And yeah, she likes, oh, I was going to say, she likes Alpaco, the channel Alpaco, if you have heard of it. It's stop motion toys. That's like, a lot of it is like Pokemon toys. They do like Pokemon figures and stuff, and she loves the Pokemon, and she names all the Pokemon, she knows all the Pokemon. So it's just like, so, she loves it. She loves that stuff. Alpaco is the name. They have a few channels. They have one that's no music. They have, I think, they have one, like the regular one with music. And I don't remember what all of the different channels are. Like, we haven't looked at all of them, but the main one with the music is the one that she likes. It's really fun. It's so cute. It's like Pokemon stop motion, you know? Like, it's super cute. I have to retie my apron here. It's kind of falling off here. Oh my gosh, it's 1:38? What? So we have like 22 minutes? That's nuts. Oh man. Alright. We are sure covering a lot of canvas right now. So that's positive. That's a good thing. For sure. For sure. But boy, is this paint drying up. I can't tell you how many times I had to mix new paint. It's been completely ridiculous. I'm sure that humidifier will help heaps. I'm sure it'll help heaps because this is just ridiculous. It's just crazy how fast this paint dries. I have the wet towel underneath and everything, and my palette, every time I go back to like get more paint, it's like my brush can't even dip into the paint because it's all hardened. And I'm just like, dude, I just mixed this. Like, what? You can't tell me. Can't tell me that the paint is hardened already, you know? Like, I literally just mixed the stuff. But then it happens quick. Nice. Righty. Right, so I'm gonna mix some of this, oh, what's this stuff called? Ultramarine. Mix some ultramarine into that. Well, that's not quite the color I wanted, but that's okay. More here. Alrighty. So far so good. We haven't gotten into the secondary color. We haven't gotten into the crazy color shift highlights yet. But I think that's coming. Right now, he just kind of blends in with the water, which is interesting. It's interesting to see him. It's almost like a chameleon, you know? But there are definitely going to be some differences, and it will be more apparent as soon as we get into the other colors. Gotta mix up more paint again. Oh my gosh. It is crazy, dude. That's just wild. Go. Just move this along into this. Just like this. Not that that made any kind of sense whatsoever. Probably makes more sense when you see it rather than when I'm just talking about it. But I'm just like trying to, yeah, there we go. I just needed a little bit of yellow in there, that's all. So we're just trying to get that gradient, or trying to get that like dark blue to kind of fade into this. I do want this quite a bit darker though, that's the thing. Here we are. This thing's gonna be coming along pretty quick, I think. I don't know, I could be wrong though. Let's see how it looks on the screen. What are you guys thinking? So the dragon looks very blue right now. Can't wait to get into the color shifting part though. I feel like this is going to be the most boring part of coloring. It's just this monochrome looking thing. It's not quite what I have in mind, but it'll get better. It'll get more exciting. That's about it. Well, thank you. Well, I appreciate you, Gaming Loves Robin. I'm excited for it to come along a little bit more. It has a ways to go. It really does have quite a long way to go. But I enjoy the journey. Painting is a journey, and I'm enjoying it. I do need more white paint. Let's get more of that on my palette. Cool. And then I need to mix that into this, I think. I think that's what I was doing. I kind of lost my train of thought a little bit. Suppose I could use cyan for that. Get a nice teal over here. I feel like I need it to be darker though, actually. Get that door. And we kind of want like a more mid-tone looking one. With the color that's a little bit more middle of the road. It's kind of a teal color. It's almost a little too desaturated though. But maybe it's alright. Okay. Probably take some more white paint, put on that, and mix that with cyan. And then we can get, that's a little bit closer to this, I think. Maybe to have a yellow. Needs a little bit more yellow. It's hard to grab it because it's just so. It's so dried up, I guess. Okay, let's try to get a middle, like in between those two shades. If I could just mix up a paint in between those two. There we go. Nice. It is very blue, but it looks good. Thank you. Yes, it's going to kind of blend in, at least for now. And that's the way it's going to be. In my mind right now, this is going to be kind of like the mid-range of tones. And then we're going to get some really deep tones and some really bright tints. And the tints will be more green. Pretty much almost neon green, possibly a bit of yellow. The highlights will have texture in them. And then also, all of those little plotted white spots, I can see the underpainting where those are. So I can use that. And then I can figure what I can do is, I can probably make this like a red-orange sort of thing. I'm going to take a lot of inspiration from the Paradise Fish. So this is going to be kind of like the awkward middle phase of the painting, I think. Because we just started on a pop of color on the actual dragon itself. Which, it's gonna look a little different now. As things kind of move along, it's just going to get closer and closer to finished, and less of it will be up in the air. Right now, we have no idea really how exactly it's going to turn out. But I do have a picture in my mind, and I think the picture looks pretty good in my mind, so I'm going to try to trust my gut and go with that. It's usually how I do things. And if things don't work out, backpedaling on this, it's not easy. But I can make tweaks and adjustments to make it work and make it fit. So I think it's... We're kind of in it now. We're pretty much... Right now, we are pretty much... we are dedicated to him being like blue-green. There's really no turning back now, unless I want to spend another, I don't know how long correcting the thing, but I don't think I want to make it any other color. I think I really do want to make it like this. I just have to get to highlights, shadows. This paint's already, it is already drying up. Oh my gosh. Every time, dude. I'm always complaining about it. I'm just like nuts. That's pretty much all there is to it. Just a crazy person. I never stop. I never stop. It sounds so negative. There we go. Very good. Okay. So this is pretty much covering most of our dragon. We have this almost completed. Gotta go over the seaweed again. Not worried about it though. We'll do it. Okay. Let's get ourselves, we'll mix ourselves some deeper blues with cobalt blue, cyan, and ultramarine. We're going to create like a very deep color. Cool. That's working out pretty good. Do need to add, maybe use actually this later color. We're just gonna cover that part up. I think that's pretty much good right there. We're gonna lighten this up and find like a middle tone. Oh, looks like we have a little whiff of paint. It's just dried paint. It's from trying to revive these dried paints. Let's see. Well, I suppose that's a good stopping point for tonight. So we can still kind of see that showing through. But that's all good. I'll probably end up just covering that up a little bit, and then we'll go over that with blue, and then we'll go over it again with our contrasting color. We're going to have complementary colors in there, and we're going to make it a really striking design. A lot of attention is going to be drawn to the designs on its wings and tail, and probably if I can implement them on the arms as well, that would be really neat. But we'll see. I mean, we'll take it as we go. It's pretty exciting. I mean, we've made some pretty decent progress. Right now, he looks like he blends in like a chameleon, but that will change, like I've been saying. Yeah, so it's gonna be great. I'm super excited. So far, so good. I wonder if there's, well, I would do a raid, but it says there's only one person here, so I think I'll probably spare that for tonight. Thank you guys so much for being here. I appreciate you very, very much. And I hope to catch you on Tuesday, because I will be back on Tuesday. So that's something to look forward to. I can't wait to get back into it, because right now it looks super unfinished. And it's driving me crazy the more I work on it, because it gets me more and more hyped. Awesome. So I hope you guys have a super good night. Thank you so much for being here, and bye!